This conference will now be recorded.
I'm Murli Krishna, and I've been working on Power BI for more than 2.5 years to 3 years in my 6 years of experience in SQL Server and HSIS, MSBA and talent data integration and Power BI. So we'll see like what exactly the course content and what is the Power BI, and I'll walk you through the different components of Power BI and also what the course content would be. Whenever you start the classes. So we have many BI tools in the market as of now. I think you're already aware. May I know like any of you worked on previous experience in BI tools like SSRS, Cognos, ClickView or Tableau? Lakshmi or any of your friend? Do you have any prior exposure? Or this is the first time you're coming to
Yeah, both
the
of us
BI
worked in
technology?
SSIS, SSRS, and I think right now LM is using a little bit of Power BI also,
Oh, that's
because
fine.
yeah, both of us are in different teams, but his team is more actually more into Power BI these days.
Okay, fine. Then that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, is similarly like whatever we have the other tools in the market, it will be like the same, but many companies, many organizations who are relying on Excel reporting and SSRS reporting are currently moving towards Power BI. And also, they're also taking the new projects in Power BI itself. Either the migration or the new ones. That's why the Power BI, they're relying on the reporting. And we have something called ClickView and Tableau also. But the Power BI being a Microsoft product, that's very cost effective, and also most of the companies relying on Microsoft products. So they, by default, they'll catch up this Power BI. And the main difference between the SSRS and Power BI is there are many things. First thing, you look and feel and compatibility. Like in SSRS, we have whatever the traditional reporting we do, the same thing can be done here, and even more than that. And supporting of sources, like whatever the sources supports in SSRS, even more in Power BI. And also the security we provide in Power BI, and also the data handling, the volume of data that handles in Power BI is more than SSRS. So that is the main differences why we are going on into Power BI when we have SSRS. So mainly the Power BI is again for self-service BI. Generally, self-service BI is the one we go with Power BI. It means as a developer or a consultant, we develop the reports, but the end user who is going to consume the reports, they can also develop their own reports, develop the reports out of the data set or data source, whatever we have given to them. That can be done in Power BI service. So in a short, Power BI is just a self-service BI cloud service offering where the end users, or we can call as business users also, for analyzing the data and visualizing the data, and also they can share the data. So that is in simple the Power BI. In the Power BI, we have three different components. One is Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service and Power BI Mobile. Power BI Desktop is a desktop tool where we can download from uh, powerbi.com, where we can download and install in our system. And every month we'll be getting updates from Power BI, so that each and every month we need to reinstall this Power BI Desktop again and again, because as it is still emerging and it is to compete with the other tools in the market, but the compatibilities and capabilities of Power BI is bit less compared to others as of now. But Microsoft is pushing this Power BI into greater extent, because every month we are getting an update before second week. September update yet to come. This month not yet. We didn't get an update till now. And the Power BI service is the cloud offering where we need a license account or a service account for that to access. That is what the business users or end users interact with in Power BI service. Here I have two types of Power BI service. Like one is the Power BI Pro, another is the Premium. Pro is related to the user. If I want to log in, if I have to log into the Power BI service, I need a Pro license or license account. And also this license can be given whatever can be by the organization. So by default, in the organization, we will be having a Pro account. They will purchase the license for files. And Power BI Premium is not related to the user, because if I have the license, it means I'm a Pro account. I'm a Pro user. But Premium is not related to the user. It relates to the capacity. The capacity means for a Pro user, there is a restriction in Power BI, like we can push only 10 GB of data to the cloud service. But in the Premium, we don't have the restrictions. And also, if I am the Pro user, if I am the developer, there will be only few developers in the company, but for the business or the end users who is going to use the reports, even for them also I need to purchase the license for them, because whoever is using Power BI, I need to purchase a license for each one of them in the organization. So that again is a big task, like purchasing a license for each and every guy. That is why Power BI Premium comes into picture, where even though if the person doesn't have a license, doesn't have the premium pro license, we can share the report if that report belongs to a workspace. I mean, if the report belongs to premium workspace. I mean, workspace means again the collection of the reports and data sets. I'll let you know, like once we go further. I mean, I will let you know what exactly the workspace and all. But for now, workspace is the collection of reports and data sets we have. So in the workspace, if the workspace is the premium capacity workspace, we can share the reports even to the non-pro users in the organization. In the that is why, I mean, that is the way where we can uh, eliminate the cost not taking the license for each and every people in the organization. And there is a lot more to Power BI Premium, and we have schedule refresh capacity is high, and the volume of data handling is high, and there are much more we'll see once we are into the Power BI Premium. And again, Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile is like simply like it is an app from Play Store or App Store where we can download the apps and we can see the data. I mean, where you can see the reports. See, once the report is development is done in desktop, we will be deploying the report, or we can be publishing the reports in Power BI service. And whatever the reports are published to service, the same reports can be accessed via mobile. It can be tab, or it can be mobile or a PC using different apps like Play Store or Apple Store. So this is in brief. The Power BI have three different flavors: desktop, service, and mobile.
Sorry to
And
interrupt you, Murli.
yeah, please.
Quick question. You just said like, you can publish the reports on Power BI service. So
Yes.
don't we have that in Power BI desktop?
No. From desktop only, we have to publish these reports to Power BI
Oh,
service.
okay. Okay,
Because
okay, got
once
it.
the report development is done, we need to publish, or we need to deploy the report somewhere so that the other users, I mean the end users or business users, can access the reports.
Okay, got it.
That is what the service, where they can use their login as a pro account and login service, and they can see the reports. And if you come to the this is how the desktop is mainly for, see, for any BI tool, for any reporting tool, we need data. It can be from a single source or multiple sources. Fortunately, Power BI supports multiple sources, not restricted to only few sources. But for now, whatever sources we have, it will be increasing, because in the past 1 year, 2 years, we have only very less sources. Now in the 2 years, as I told, every month we are getting update from Power BI, from Microsoft Power BI. So the connectors, I mean, connector means the source. I refer the connector. So the connectors are increasing each and every month, and it is going to be increasing further. So once we get the data from multiple sources or a single source, here we are going to analyze the data, and we are going to make relationships between the data sets, and we are going to manipulate the data. So these things all can be done in Power BI desktop. So once we have the data, we need to analyze the data before developing the report, and also we are going to make relationships between the data sets. Like how we have relationships means like how we have joins in SQL Server or any relation database. Similarly, here also we are going to establish some relationship between the tables or data sets. And once it is done, data manipulation. By default, whatever the data we have in the source will pull all the data. If any necessary modifications we need to do in Power BI desktop, we can do here, like adding some additional columns and creating a measures. We call it as calculated columns and measures, which is again a DAX language. I'm going to cover that as well. Once everything is done, we'll start with the report development and formatting of the report. It is for look and feel of the report. Once everything is done, report is ready, then Power BI service comes into picture. We are going to publish the report to Power BI service, which is a cloud service offering for the end users. What they'll do, if they have a data set, whatever we have developed, like the model means a set of tables or set of data sets, a set of tables with relationships between them. that is called model or a data set we call. So if we just give data set, they will try to develop their own reports, or we can also develop the reports on top of the data set and we can publish. So either way we can do. So they can able to develop their own reports out of the data set whatever they published there, and again they can share the report between their users. Like if I am the user who is using the report, if I want to share this report to other users in the same organization, I can share the reports, but that too in Power BI service alone. And again, security, we have something called row level security in Power BI. Generally it can be configured in Power BI desktop, and the same applies in Power BI service as well. Like if we have 100 records in a table, let's say, if I am the one, if we have two different persons where 50 records belongs to his data, his team, or I can say like if let's say we are dealing with sales data. If I am from one country, the other guy is from other country. If I want to see only my country's data and other guy wants to see his country's data, then I can restrict that date in data level so that I can see only my country's data. So 50 records only I can see, and the other guy can only see 50 records. So that way we can have row level security, which can be configured on dataset, and the same applies in Power BI service. So that can be done. And also something called gateways. Gateways is like once the report is developed and published to Power BI service, Power BI service has to talk to the data source or dataset to get the data. So that is why we need something called gateways in between the Power BI service and the actual source for secure transfer of the data. So that is why we use gateways. And again, I have something called scheduled data refresh, which is now today I have developed the report and I published the report to Power BI service. From tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the data in the source will be keep on increasing because it's not restricted to only that day's data. The data is keep on increasing. So similarly, whenever the data gets increased or updated in the source, the same updated data should also be present in the reporting in the Power BI service. So that is why we will be scheduling a data refresh, so that based on the schedule whatever we have implemented, the new data will be pumped to the Power BI service each and every time. We'll see in detail whenever we go to the Power BI service. So these are the course content. Like I'll be walking through the different components, like what the Power BI desktop and service, and how to install the Power BI desktop and various options we have in Power BI desktop by default. Once we have everything, like we understood the different options in Power BI desktop, we'll start working on the different sources. For this course, I'm going to take the SQL Server or an Excel and Word data feed. Word data feed is something like in some cases the source may not be a database or file. It can be the URL. Word data feed is like open data protocol. It is REST API, where the REST API we can use and we can consume the data. I can say like we have Azure blob storage and Azure data lake, where we are going to give the URL as a connection to get that source, but I cannot show the Azure data lake and something else to get the data from other links. So that is a Word data feeds or open data protocol, where I can get the links from online, like AdventureWorks or some Northwind, so that the URL is used to pump the data to the Power BI desktop. It can be in a JSON or XML format by default. So for that I'll be using that. And again, we have something called import, direct query, and differences between them. And we have some limitations of direct query. We'll be seeing that. And there is something called Power Query. Power Query, if you are familiar with Excel, you must have heard of this name called Power Query. Earlier in Excel, we have some add-ins called Power Query and Power Map and Power Visual, something. So all this combination only the Power BI. So earlier we have Excel add-ins. Now we have everything in the Power BI. And we'll be seeing the query editor is mainly to edit the data, to edit the queries or to edit the data or to add a new columns. So everything we can see in the any connection strings we need to edit, everything can be done in query editor. And I was talking relationships, like we have different relationships in Power BI. There is one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, and also many-to-many also we have, but it is not directly supported. We'll be seeing all these relationships in Power BI. And once after that, we'll start with the report development. Once we have the data is in place, once we have proper data and everything is what are the calculations, everything is fine, we'll be starting the report development. And by default, we have set of visuals from Microsoft in the Power BI. Using that visuals, we are going to represent the data, whether it can be a table or a pie chart or a bar chart. Something we have 20 visuals by default, 15 to 20. And apart from that, we have custom visuals where we can download the visuals from Microsoft Store, and also we can start developing the reports. But to do so, we need the service account. I mean the pro account, whatever I was talking earlier. So without the pro account, we cannot able to download the custom visual. But in this course, I'm going to provide the pro account as well, because I'll be creating the account for you guys so that you can play with that account and you can download the visuals, and also you can log into Power BI service and you can access the Power BI service components completely, instead of just restricting myself just in theoretical knowledge of Power BI service. I'll be giving the pro account credentials to you guys so that you can have a real-time hands-on exposure on how Power BI service, because Power BI service only the key one, because I can download, anyone can download the Power BI desktop and they can start developing the reports. But after the development, what exactly happens? So that is the key difference between the real-time user and the normal user. So I want to make sure you have the hands-on exposure to that as well, so that I am going to provide that service credentials. And once the report development is done, we are going to publish the reports to Power BI service, and we'll be walking you through like what is the Power BI overview of Power BI service and what are different options we have. And we have something called dashboards, gateways, and in gateways also have two types. One is enterprise gateway, and other one is the personal gateway, and what the differences, and workspaces and content packs. Like I was told earlier, the reports can be shared via content packs. The content pack for the first feature earlier in 2015 or 16, but now they have changed it to apps, Power BI apps. Earlier it was content packs, but still we have content packs now also, because even in my organization currently, whatever the reports I have developed 2 years back, it was shared via content packs. So that content packs also currently present, because Microsoft doesn't want to get into the content pack, so that whatever I've shared the reports with other users will not be shown to them. So that is why we have two types of sharing, which is called content packs and this other one is apps. Another thing is security, like how the role of security was talked earlier, where we can be implemented the same here, and schedule refresh and Power BI premium. So this is up to Power BI, the general Power BI. But there is something else we need to know when it comes to Power BI. That is called SSAS tabular. Like you're already aware of SSIS and SSRS, you must be heard of SSAS also, which is SQL Server Analysis Services, where we have two different types, which is multidimensional and other one is tabular. So especially for the Power BI, we need tabular model, because whatever we do in the Power BI desktop, the making relationships between the tables and creating a data model, everything can be done in SSAS tabular. The main difference is, from the Power BI, if you directly take the data from the source and publish the data to Power BI service, the entire data will be published to cloud, where many organizations may accept that or may not accept, because they don't want their data to be present in the cloud. Because even though Microsoft has strong security and data breach cannot be happen, but even though there are few, even my organization in the earlier days we used to rely on SSAS tabular, even now also. Why? Because SSAS tabular acts as an intermediate layer between the actual source and Power BI service. How it works is, from SSAS tabular, like how we do build package in SSRS, SSIS and SSRS reports, we have some connectors to connect to the source. Similarly, from SSAS tabular model also, we have different set of sources where we can connect the sources and get the data. And in SSAS tabular, we do everything like creating columns, additional columns and measures and relationships, whatever we can do in SSAS tabular. And we are going to deploy this data, deploy this model in SSAS instance. Like how we have, if you try to log into SSMS, we can see database engine, analysis services, integration services, reporting services. In that similar fashion, we are going to deploy the model in analysis services instance. Once it is deployed from the Power BI desktop, we are going to take the data from SSAS, not from actual source. So it acts as an intermediate layer. So all the data will be present in SSAS instance. So it will not be a live data. It will be a batch refresh. Like for example, if tomorrow if something data changes in the source, then we need to run a job in a SQL Server agent to get the data, I mean to get the updated data to the SSAS intermediate layer between actual source and Power BI service. It is required because if it is the internal requirement or internal recruitment, that's something different. But if you are looking for a job like in the Power BI for the first time, or so you should have exposure on SSAS tabular, because both Power BI and SSAS tabular are both are, I mean, correlated, one and the same, except Power BI service. I'm talking about desktop. And again, we have something called DAX, which is data analysis expressions, which is again a language of Power BI. Like how we have SQL Server queries and all, it is a functional language from Microsoft. It is especially for Power BI and SSAS tabular. So DAX works in Power BI and also in SSAS tabular. So there is very huge, DAX is very huge, but as we are going to the Power BI course, I'm not don't want to stop with, I mean, I don't want to restrict to only few DAX. So whatever I have come across, and also what are the frequent functions we use for doing calculations in Power BI, so I'll be covering that as well. So what are measures and what are calculated columns, and what is the difference between when to use, when not to use, and what is the time intelligence, and generally in general what are the DAX functions whatever we use in Power BI. So I will be covering all that. And also we have something called calendar function, is general, like whatever we generally require in our calculation. There are many, but I'm going to cover few, like which are more frequently used. And again, there are some advanced concepts in Power BI, like parameters, drill through, bookmarks, roller security, dynamic measures, dynamic charts, whatever you're seeing here. So everything will be covered once we are familiarized with all this. And again, at the end, I'll be providing some mock data for you guys. With a use case, I'll be giving you like what exactly you have to do with the data, so you can play with that, and you can start developing the report and with few metrics out of that, so that even you will get some hands-on experience, like how a report before stepping into an organization.
So do you mean to say something like a project by our own, Murli? I can't hear you, Murli. I don't know, and I'm not sure if you're talking, Murli, but I'm not able to hear you.
Hello, this is Alam. Do you hear me, Lakshmi?
Yeah, I can hear you, Alan.
I think he disconnected also.
Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe he listened us, but maybe we couldn't listen him.
Yeah, let's wait for a while and see if we'll connect or not, and then we can.
Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Discussing. And this is the basic architecture of Power BI. Like, just a second, sorry. Like whatever we have discussed till now, right? The Power BI desktop and service. So basically, the apps, whatever you are seeing here is apps means connectors. I mean, different sources. So by default, we have more than 50 plus connectors to Power BI. That is a desktop. So from the desktop, we are going to connect to different sources and start developing the reports. Once we are done with the report development, we are going to publish. We can also take it as a deployment. We're going to publish this to Power BI service. So after deploying to after publishing to Power BI service, Power BI service has to talk to the sources. I mean, generally the Power BI will talk to only the restricted to the organization. See, whatever the domain you are providing, so the whatever the users you are sharing with also should belong to the same domain. You can also share with the other users, but it will be risky. That is why Power BI supports only the own organization data. So Power BI service has to talk to the underlying sources. So for that, we need something called gateways to be configured, so that the data will be transferred between Power BI service and the sources via Power BI gateway. And the same Power BI service, what are the reports we have here? It is can be accessed using mobiles or PCs or tablets. So this is the basic architecture how the Power BI works. So this is, guys, like what are we going to start and what are going to end, like from the basic scratch to the complete Power BI we're going to see in our classes in this course. So this is the Power BI. Let me show. This is the Power BI desktop, and let me go to Power BI service. Have app.powerbi.com, which is one we can access the service. So by default, this is the Power BI desktop where you can download and you can install on system. And this is the workspace or report workspace where you can start developing our reports. And these are different pages. So all together, make it as a report. Like it be 1 page or 2 page or multiple pages. So everything can be considered as one single report. And once this is the data, like this is the sources where get data is the one which is the key where we frequently use. So these are the data sources we have. So it is categorized into file, database, and Power BI own sources, and Azure and other online services and other sources. So plenty of sources for now, and they will be improving, and the count will be keep on adding, because there are many data sources yet to come to Power BI, and they'll be adding in each and every month whenever they get update. And these are the default visuals we have from Power BI, and we can also download the visuals from Microsoft Store. We call you can see Marketplace here, import from Marketplace. Usually it asks for credentials, but I'm already logged in here. You can see my name here. That is why it is not asking for any credentials. So you can add these visuals to the Power BI. So we can have plenty of visuals, and whatever we are seeing this blue color tick mark here called Power BI certified. You can see that visually certified by Power BI. Earlier it was not there. I think from the last 2 months they were added, because there are many visuals, custom visuals, where many people can add. But Power BI certified means these are certified by Power BI so that these visuals can be improved. I mean, other version, for example, if a new version of this visual is released, so it can be supported by Power BI. And also if any something wrong, so something glitch in the visual, the Power BI will take care of. For many of them, they will not be certified. Only for the few only certified will be there. So that is why it is recommended to use only certified visuals in the Power BI. Even though we can use, but we don't know when the support will be stopped. For example, if in the report, if you are going to use this visual, we don't know, down the line 6 months or 1 year later, this visual will be revoked from Power BI Marketplace. Who knows? That is why it is recommended to use this. Even also we can use this. This is the Power BI desktop. We'll be seeing what different options here and these different tabs. We'll start the report development. And this is the service. I have already account, and I will be providing this account for you guys. Once I let me still redirecting. So any questions, guys, till now so far, like the concepts I was talking till now?
Like I told, we are pretty much new to this, so maybe
Okay.
questions going ahead.
Sure.
I have few questions right now, but I think they would be answered, in the sessions going ahead. That's what I'm hoping. So if not, I will raise my questions during the sessions.
Sure. So this is a service account where the end users will log in the same like how I have done now. So if someone has a pro account, they can log into Power BI service and they can see the report whatever they have published. So once report development is done, we have something called publish option here. It will be enabled once we have started. We have something here. Once we publish, then the report will come and sits here. The workspaces. It can be my workspace is by default. Like for each one of us, we'll have one my workspace, which is default for each and everyone. It is your place. It is your repository. The these workspaces are the enterprise workspaces where it is for the organization. So based on the project, whatever we are working, the names will be by default will be the name of the project, and we can create a workspace, and the reports will be deployed to the workspace. And again, as I was telling earlier, there's something called content packs, gateways. Everything will be we're going to see. So this is what guys like Power BI and the content we are going to deal with in the further sessions. So are you clear so far? Like whatever we have discussed, at least that I mean, even though you are new, but whatever we have discussed so far, like what are the concepts?
Yes, Murli, it's all clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Just off off the training question, quick question actually.
Yeah.
Are you from Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
So am I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Fine.
work in IT?
But yeah, but I forget to that at the rate domain. I thought of using my own domain, but
That's
unfortunately,
where I
in a
caught
practice.
you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Good to know.
Okay.
I can ask you questions
Okay.
more and more directly also.
Sure.
Good for
Sure.
me.
Sure.
Okay, Murli. Thanks.
Okay. So other one, I mean, your friend. I mean, I'm not getting his name. Hi, do you have any questions so far?
I think he's good. I don't know if he's,
Uh,
Okay.
no, I don't have it. I'm good. I'm just listening today, so I wanna see how you're going and
Okay.
how to
Fine.
continue.
Okay. So, I mean, how far like you are familiar with Power BI? I mean, I have already heard from Lakshmi that you're working on Power BI. Like, have worked on only desktop or service, or like how far like or just starting phase? Hello. Okay, fine. Yeah. This is all like I have for now. So we'll
Okay.
start with the regular sessions whenever it gets started. Like, will the timings? I mean, will be letting you later.
Sure,
So once
Murli.
started, regular classes will be walking you through each and everything, like whatever we have seen now.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you then. Okay, we'll meet in the regular sessions.
Yeah, sure, Murli. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
We done today?
Yeah. I mean, it is just introduction, like what and all we are going to see in Power BI in the regular classes, like some basic intro of what is Power BI and how it works. So that is what we have discussed now. So once the regular classes is started, and we'll be going through each and everything,
Okay,
desktop
good.
and service and whatever.
Okay, sounds good. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
you'll
Yeah.
finish. All right. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.